Hey everyone, and welcome to Bite Size Tactics. In this video we're going to be talking about the Land Raider, and this is the generic normal build, not the Crusader or Redeemer, but we will cover those in later videos. The Land Raider has a 10-inch movement with a toughness of 12, a 2+ armor save, 16 wounds for the model, with a leadership of 6+ and objective control of 5, and currently costs 240 points. The Land Raider has the vehicle, transport, and smoke keywords, so the vehicle keyword is important for stratagems and abilities in the game, while the transport keyword could be more important for some stratagems in certain detachments like the Firestorm Assault Detachment. Finally, the smoke keyword allows you to use the pop smoke stratagem. The Land Raider has Deadly Demise D6 and the Assault Ramp ability. Now this allows a disembarked unit to declare a charge after the Land Raider has made a normal move. The Land Raider is equipped with a Twin Heavy Bolter. This has the Sustained Hits 1 and Twin Linked abilities. It has 3 attacks at Strength 5, -1 AP, and does 2 damage per wound. And this is quite good against infantry units, while the 2 Goldhammer las cannons that this unit possesses, with 2 attacks each at Strength 12, -3 AP, and d6+1 damage per wound, is a great weapon to do some damage to those high toughness enemies that your opponent will have. And then finally, it is equipped with Armored Tracks, and this may kill a few infantry models just with a strength of 8 and 6 attacks, but there is no AP and only 1 damage, so possibly light infantry only. There are a few weapons that you can add to the Land Raider without having to exchange them for any other weapons. The first is the Hunter Killer Missile. This is a one-shot only for the entire battle. At strength 14, -3 AP and d6 damage. This is more just a bit of bonus damage to those high toughness enemies to accompany those las cannons. You can also equip the Land Raider with a Multi-Melter. This has the Melter 2 ability, and at strength 9, -4 AP and d6 damage. Again, this is great against all types of vehicles and monsters. However, it might not do so well against any unit with a toughness of 10 or higher, as it will be wounding on 5s, but there are stratagems around that to make it more of a 50-50 chance here. And then finally, for the weapons that can be added to the Land Raider, there is the Storm Bolter, which has the Rapid Fire 2 ability, and again, this is just a weapon for some more attacks into infantry units. So the Land Raider is quite a big model, so your unit can be easily move blocked, and you might actually struggle with some terrain setups, especially if you are playing a tournament that allows players to set up their own terrain. So you need to be careful of where you're putting your terrain and where your opponent is putting the terrain, so that you can still move through that area and then still have line of sight to those targets you want to take out with the Land Raider, and ensure that you can actually transport your troops somewhere efficiently. You should also be careful of high AP and high damage weapons, as you do not have an invulnerable save, but you have some decent durability there. But if they do slide through your armor save, you will take a lot of damage. Also, any weapons that can do mortal or devastating wounds can be quite effective against this model, as you won't get to use your armor save and you don't have a feel no pain. And then finally, anti-vehicle weapons are also something to look out for, as your opponent can get multiple wounds in, and then perhaps you fail multiple armor saves just due to the amount of dice that you're rolling. You also don't want the Land Raider to be locked in combat unless you're using it on your own terms, like a tank shock. However, you don't want this unit to be stuck in close combat with those really fast moving armies like World Eaters, as it would probably stop you from being able to transport the troops inside, and it will become ineffective. The Land Raider also doesn't have the best weapons loadout against infantry and mounted units, so if you are going to be charged, you're not going to have a lot of Overwatch capability, and therefore you could be held up in a position where you don't want to be. And then finally, for the weaknesses, if the Land Raider has 5 or less wounds remaining, then this model becomes degraded. Even though the Land Raider only has a 10-inch movement, it's still some pretty good movement for a vehicle, and allows the units to declare a charge after a normal move, so your threat range is still pretty good. The Land Raider also has great durability in its own profile, and you will always get the benefit of cover unless your opponent is right in front of you because of how big the model is. It also has a good amount of capacity, so you can get quite a few troops and even multiple units inside if you wanted to. The Land Raider may not have the best weapons loadout for dealing with infantry and mounted units. However, it does have a lot of punch against those high toughness enemy models that your opponent will have, so the Land Raider can still do some pretty good work against them. It's also really great for stealing an objective off that really high toughness enemy model, and then allows you to fortify it with the units inside. And then finally, for the strengths, it's great in all chapters and detachments, as well as inclusive of all infantry units, which is a big tick, especially if you're just getting started and exploring how to use transports. So now let's look at the transport aspect of the Land Raider. So this transport has a capacity of 12. However, every jump pack within Gravis or Terminator keyword model takes up 2 spaces, while Centurions take up to 3 spaces. And a big bonus for this transport is, again, any infantry unit can be inside this transport. Even if they've got a Phobos, Tacticus, whatever keyword they have, if they're infantry, they can get into the transport, unless it's stated otherwise. So the mission play for the Land Raider is very simple, but it can be hard to achieve. The Land Raider wants to get a full strength unit on an objective to fortify it, or multiple small units on it, so that you can hold it with multiple different units and manipulate the OC on it. And then you can potentially minimize the damage from some high toughness enemies, and even some lower toughness enemies as well, with your weaponry. However, it could be very unlikely that this unit will do it by themselves, so they're more of a supporting piece for the damage output, and then you want this model to basically help protect that fortified objective, even if it means sacrificing it as a move or charge block. So my verdict on the Land Raider is that it's a great transport, and it packs some really good firepower. So if you are lacking some high toughness weapons, the Land Raider is a really good choice for your army, especially if you're really wanting to keep those infantry units that normally get picked up very quickly safe. It's also just a great place to start when you're looking to add transports into your list and seeing how you want to play with them and how you would use them. And again, it's great in all different chapters and detachments, and because all the units can be inside of it, you can play around with it a lot, and I find it a very fun and effective transport to use on the battlefield. So thank you all for watching this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for the channel to grow. And as always, let me know your stories with the Land Raider, or even if you want to let me know how you went with the other Land Raider variants, you can do so as well. But those videos will be out shortly. And again, thank you for watching.